Now for the show that's truly too hot to handle. It's The Melting Pat, and it starts right now.
You're listening to The Melting Pat. Here's your host, Pat Johnson.
Well, thank you, Jerome. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the show, The Melting Pat, the Next Level Network. How are you? How's it going? Hope your day is going well. I'm all right. You know, work is work. Work is kind of a pain, but that is what it hey, man. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. Happy Pride. Hope you're having a wonderful time. Hope you went out. If you went to an event or a parade already, Jesus, what is happening? Let's try that again. If you went to an event or a parade for Pride, I hope you had fun. I hope nobody messed with you. And I hope that you're just having a wonderful time doing whatever it is that you do at those things. I've never really been invited. So I don't, I just feel like it's not my thing to encroach, right? I don't want to be, I'm just a straight white guy trying his best, okay? So, happy Pride to all of you. For like 4 years, I have tried to get a shirt made with Crap Open a Cold One in a rainbow font, and I have had no such luck. I don't know why it's really hard to find a rainbow font thing. So if you know how to do that and put it on a t-shirt, let me know. We'll try to get that going for next year, I guess. Maybe we'll do I guess we'll sell them and the proceeds will go to we'll go to an organization. So that's what we'll do. Does that sound like a good idea? I've thought about this for like 4 or 5 years, that I should kind of get involved in some causes and make some merchandise. Really, I just want to put Crap Open a Cold One on a bunch of stuff and have people wear it and be like, wow, what the hell's that? Oh, it's a podcast. Go check it out. And like, oh, what's it about? I don't know. And that's how that would go. That's been the hardest thing about this live show prep, by the way, is figuring out how to tell people what the hell this is about. So we'll get to that. We'll get to all the things. We got our question about streaming services. Which one is worth the money? Fun fact, the listener who suggested this question did not submit her pick. So that is very funny to me. She's going to hear this today or tomorrow and go, oh, damn it. And we'll get to that next time. So we have that. We have a new song from New Friends. We'll get to that in just a moment. And what else we have? Oh, we got fan mail about how I feel about paying for ad-free. That was supposed to be last week, but it actually fits in better this week with our question that kind of ties things together. And we got some fan mail about some sports things, which we may squeeze in at the end of the show. So that is what is going on today. All right. So first things first, after all that, after you got the whole rundown, the whole menu for the show, we have a brand new song from brand new friends. The band is called Cokeworks. And I have to say, first of all, my bad to Cokeworks. They sent me a message on Instagram in like February, and it was a Spotify link of like, hey, here's our new single. Check out our stuff. You know, we got some new stuff coming soon too. And I was like, oh, great. I can't listen to Spotify stuff on my phone because I don't have Spotify. And it's weird I don't get to actually listen to the song that I click on, which is why I don't like Spotify. And I was like, all right, but I'll get on my computer and I'll get to that and I'll let you know. And then something happened. I forgot all about it. And so thank you, Cokeworks, for reaching out again. And because my brain is mush. I've had 4 concussions and I have a toddler. So things just kind of slip out. And so I'm very sorry. But they are back. They are here. They reached out they hoped against hope, damn it, that maybe this idiot will figure it out and actually listen to our damn songs. And I did. I really did. The song, it's brand new. It's called Vulture. And here's what they wrote. They said, our new single, Vulture, is out now. It's our emo pride anthem about working through religious trauma, gay shame, and existential dread. Hope you love it. First thing, I think this is a great song for Pride Month, right? So that fits. And I guess that's why they put it out, beginning of June or end of May. And also, I do love it. It's really good. It's really fun. It's got some mouth riffage in there, so we're going to get to that. I just realized, did not look up the Cokeworks social media things like I said I would. So give me 1 second. I will do that. All right. So I found it. And so I just Googled Cokeworks band. I figured that'd be the easiest thing. And it's Cokeworks band. I'm sorry, at Cokeworks band on Instagram. COKEWORKS BAND on Instagram. Cokeworks on Facebook. They're also on YouTube and Spotify and all that. But I saw this on the results page, and it says, it's from thehoneypop.com. It says, Cokeworks is here to introduce you to Rust Belt Emo. And I laughed out loud. And their YouTube description says, Rust Belt Emo on the Ohio River. So there you go. Cokeworks Band on Instagram. All the links and stuff will be in the show notes. I don't know why that tickled me so much, but it really did. This is brand new. It's Vulture, Cokeworks, The Melting Pat. We're coming right back.
Eternal bliss just from a kiss. If hellfire always feels this good, damnation be damned. Never thought that I would be lying with another man. The vile behavior that they tried to ban. All of this just over a kiss. All the shit just over a kiss. Vulture in my neck, tearing at my skin. I'm staring at my eyelids, praying it never happens again. Staring at my eyelids, praying it never happens again. I can't be what you want from me, what you want from me. If you knew who I'm gonna be, I don't really think you'd be proud of me. I can't be what you want from me, what you want from me. I won't be what you want from me, what you want from me. About your ring, you left it behind, asked me to bring it to where you were. Should've known it would be at church. When you're preaching at the Papa, do you taste me like I taste you? Praising God with the same lips that I kiss me in my Subaru. When you're preaching at the Papa, do you taste me like I taste you? Praising God with the same lips that I kiss me in my Subaru. Vulture on my neck, staring at my skin. I'm staring at my eyelids, praying it never happens again. Vulture on my neck, staring at my skin. I'm staring at my eyelids, praying it never happens again. I can't be what you want from me, what you want from me. If you knew who I'm gonna be, I don't really think you'd be proud of me. I can't be what you want from me, what you want from me. I won't be what you want from me, what you want from me. I can't be what you want from me, what you want from me. I won't be what you want from me, what you want from me. I can't be what you want from me, what you want from me. If you knew who I wanna be, I don't really think you'd be proud of me. I can't be what you want from me, what you want from me. I won't be what you want from me, what you want from me.
And there you have it, our new friends, Cokeworks, with their latest Vulture. It's the Melting Pat, the Next Level Network. I don't know what happened. It was too high, but I wanted to do it anyway because it was. I wanted to do it anyway, and I had fun. It didn't sound as good as it could have. I'm out of shape, I think. Really, I think what needs to happen to make these mouth riffs even better, shout out to our friend Jason Didner on that one, is I need to get back in shape. Because then I can hold the notes longer and I can hit more notes in a thing, or maybe I can just breathe in between. I don't know, man. Cokeworks, Vulture, go get it where you get your things. Cokeworks Band on Instagram. Instagram, cross the T. And all the links to their things will be in the show notes. I'm sure they have a link tree like a lot of bands do. So, Pat, could you have looked that up? Yeah, probably. Probably could have done that. I listened to the song twice. I probably could have taken a few seconds to see if they had a link tree or click one of those links that I found. what did I say? Rust Belt emo from the Ohio River. There you go. There it is. Oh man, they're gonna be really upset that I did this now. They're gonna be like, well, you should have just ignored us, left us on red like you did in February, and just let it go, and we'll never bother you again. No, it's fine. Cokeworks, thank you for reaching out again. I'm so sorry that I forgot about this months ago, but here we are. This is actually perfect with, with Pride Month and all that. I guess is that what if? See, here's the thing. What if it's not a good idea? Because again, I'm just a straight guy trying his best, man. I don't know what's good and bad, and who's going to be mad at me. Just don't be mad at me, okay? Come to the live show and don't be mad, okay? Cokeworks, go check them out. Tell them Pat sent you, and they'll go, that guy's all right. Or maybe they won't. I don't know what they'll say. I haven't actually spoken to them, but it's fine. So, break. That was a bad one. Try again. That looks much better. Thank you. We booked a live show. We booked a venue for the live show in September. If you're unaware, if you're new to if you're new to the show, or if you forgot, the plan is for episode 500 to record it in front of a crowd with all of you, as many of you, with 100 of you in the fall. So episode 500 is coming out October 12th. That's the date it's going to drop. But we're going to record it live, hopefully. We booked the venue, so we got to go through with it. So everybody tell your friends at Constadters in the Northeast Philly. So all the information for that, we're going to be recording it on September 14th. Come have dinner with us. Free admission, free parking. You got to buy your own food and booze. But let me just say this right up front. I tried to get the food included in the rental price. And when I said, the guy asked, hey, how much were you looking to spend? And I told him it was a low-ish number because, I don't make money from the show. So, I guess I don't make hundreds of dollars from the show. So I gave him I expected to spend this much today. So I guess if we could go that high, that would be okay. And he looked at it and he goes, you're looking at this and it's not going to work out. So instead of charging admission, we're going to let you in for free. And the guy, I told him, you going to charge for tickets here? I said, no. I laughed. I was like, no. He's like, oh, you're brave. I'm like, well, they got to pay for food, so I don't want them to have to pay twice, right? You got to spend the gas to get up there. You do not have to pay to park, which was a big draw for this venue. It's a German club here in the Northeast. It's almost like I don't want to call it a VFW, but it's got that kind of vibe where it's just like everybody's chill. They got a big room on one side. That was the fancier room that was going to cost me twice as much. And I think much too fancy for what we're doing. And so there was an event going on in that room when we went to visit the place. So I didn't really get to check it out, but they were like, oh yeah, that room holds, 500 or 600 people or whatever it was. And I was like, oh, all right. And then, that's this much. And we were in the room that we're going to be in for the show. And Jill and I are looking around and the kid had just about fallen asleep in the stroller. So we actually got a chance to kind of explore the venue a little bit, the room. And we're looking around this is perfect. It sounds pretty good. It's got a nice feel to it. It's got a really laid back, chill feel to it, which is funny because I reached out to the person who is coordinating all these things. And she's like, yeah, I think the best thing you want to do is come and take a tour and check out the vibe of the place, And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea, of course. And totally cool vibes. Everybody was great. And so she said, yeah, we'll do this. You put down a deposit, then we'll do a contract, and then we'll send that to you, and you decide if you want to do it. And Jill and I, we looked at the space. We figured out how it would be configured for us. We'd be in one part of the room. Everybody else would be at tables and having food and all that. And the bar will be open. Again, you got to pay for that yourself. But that would have been, listen, I don't, like I said, I don't make money from this. And so I didn't want to go past a certain number for the cost. Because I'm in the red, right? And so, I do okay, but I'm not, hey, I'm not rich, let me tell you. But the thought was we needed to have a place that was available on a weekend, which was tough because we were looking at theaters, which would have been ideal tech-wise. And so we're looking at a place that was available on a weekend, which we found. Someplace with parking, because there was a place, like we mentioned, Philomoka, where we went in April for an event and we got this idea, but there's no parking down there. And I know a lot of my audience or a lot of people who I think are going to come to the show are not going to want to go to a place where they can't safely park their car. And so if it's like, oh, street parking down in a certain part of the city, I know a lot of people who are going to not come because of that. And so trying to find a venue with parking and availability and that was cheap enough, because there was like I said, another venue that was, 5 times as much. And I didn't even know what the amenities would be. And I was like, no, that price that scared me off. So I am glad we found Constadters. And yeah, we booked it. It is reserved September 14th, 5 to 9 p.m. Come have dinner with us. Come have drinks with us. We'll have a special guest co-host. We'll have a musical guest. Our friend Alvaro will be returning to the show for his I believe his 4th project. Alvaro's been on with, well, let's count him out. Kim Jong-il, MC Black Wolf, Wormtooth, and now his name was Dusk. And so he'll be on the show again to promote a new project, and he's going to be performing as well. So you get Tim and I back together, my dear friend Tim Donnelly. We're going to be back together hosting the show. And my buddy Alvaro with his new project, his name was Dusk. He will be performing at the show as well. And who knows what else is going to come up between now and then, but we are reserved and raring to go. We're going to, work out some details. I'm actually hoping to talk to Tim today to work out some details and kind of nail some stuff down and hopefully get ready. So tell all your friends, themeltingpat.com, click on the live show tab. All the information that I just told you and maybe some other stuff is there. There is a link to the RSVP. Again, it's free, but I would like you to register ahead of time so I know how many people are coming. So I know that we have to hit a certain number to actually do the thing. So please register. There is a QR code as well if you fancy that, if that's easier for you. Do that, okay? And we're making a flyer. Well, not me. Someone else is making a flyer, so that all the information will be there as well. And so come on out to Constadters with us in September and have fun and celebrate episode 500, which just seems insane, right? Like 500 episodes of me doing whatever the hell I do. That's the worst part about this, is telling people what the show's about, because I don't have any idea. I don't. But yeah, we are ready to go. Well, we're part of the way there. We have a big stressful part is now off my back, and now the new stressful part is getting people to come to the show. And so please tell your friends, if you've ever listened to the show, if you've been on the show, if you told a friend about the show, about the podcast in general, tell them, hey, come on out with me and come have some dinner and drinks and come hang out with Pat and his pals and celebrate episode 500 of this show. And they'll go, what's that? And they'll go, just come on, trust me, have fun. It'll be fun. All right? I don't want to, I really I guess because I never promote myself, now any type of promotion feels desperate, right? And so it's just weird to be like, hey, we're doing a thing. Please come to the show. Tell your friends. It feels desperate. But I guess I never really tell anyone about the show. And so it's not really, it's new. This is 100% new territory for me. So come on out to the show. Come say hi. We'll maybe do a meet and greet. We'll do a Q&A. Am I going to do a meet and greet? I don't know, man. We probably could do that, right? That sound like fun? Is that a thing you want to do? Do you want to meet me after the show and say, hi, Pat, we already know you? We could do that, right? I don't know. I haven't worked out that much of it yet, but we're doing a live episode to celebrate number 500. I'm very excited about that part of it. And because, again, like I said, the show is the show, right? The episode is going to be what it's going to be. We're going to have a great time with that. My thing is, and will be until it happens, that people aren't going to show up. And I always have that fear of man, we did all this stuff. We did all this work. How are we going to get people in the goddamn door? And I guess I'm going to be telling you about it every week until September. So if you're mad, should I pre-record like they do on other shows? Hey, we're doing it. I don't want to do that. I'll do it live. Yeah, so come on out to the show. Come say hi. Come buy some dinner. Have some dinner with us. Have some drinks. And it's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time. And we're going to hear some live music, right? That's good, right? Yes, Tim and I always have fun together doing shows, and he hasn't been on in a while. So I am very much looking forward to reconnecting with him and having a lot of fun with the show. Just the two of us together has always been one of my favorite things in radio. No offense to any of my other co-hosts, but Tim and I just have a thing, and it's been really fun. It'll be really fun to get to do that with him again. So looking forward to all the things. Please tell your buddies. Come on over. Again, themeltingpat.com. There is a live show tab. All of that information is on there to do the thing. Hold on. I hear a sound. I've been hearing this sound for like an hour, and I got to figure out what it is. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I don't know what's going on. I think it's somebody either outside or I got something in the walls here. But the sound was driving me nuts. I had to figure out what it was, and I did not actually figure out what it was. So there we go. Mission not accomplished. I don't know what to do, but I also started laundry in that time, so that was important. All right, let us get to the question for this week that we had for you. Thank you, Jen, for suggesting this a few weeks ago about which streaming services are most worth the money. So Jen and I talked about this at the kids' party a couple weeks ago, and funnily enough, she did not answer, and of course, I did not write down what she told me, but I think she said Amazon Music or Amazon something or other is really good. Honestly, I'm sorry, Jen. I forgot what you told me because my brain is mush. And yeah, I'll get to you soon. My bad. Tell you what, Jen, if you listen to the Patreon version, no, I won't do that. I was going to say I'll get back in and re-record and record a new thing. I'm not going to do that. Let's be real. But my bad. But thank you, Jen, for the question. So where do you get the most bang for your buck, as it were? Hold on, I just dropped a thing. There we go. All right. I don't know what's happening here today. I really don't. I'm okay. I swear I'm fine. I'm just fine. All right. So, there are a lot of good choices. There are a lot of choices anyway. A lot of streaming services where you can give them your money and get exclusive shows and do other things. So, Netflix, they have games now you can play on your phone, which is fun. You can download things from there, which is also good if you're going on a long trip or a flight or a something or other, and you don't want to have to worry about either using your data or finding Wi-Fi or whatever. You can download certain shows and movies and watch them on the go, which is great. Amazon Prime does that as well. You can download certain movies and shows, and of course the free delivery or free shipping with the stuff that you order. I will say Amazon used to be a lot better because the cost was reasonable. And it was like, okay, like this much for a year, and you get the free 2-day shipping, and you get the shows and the movies and the downloading things, and there were no ads, and we didn't have to worry about that. And then they increased the price, and then later they add a new tier where like, hey, if you want to not watch commercials during stuff, pay us an extra $3 a month. And I'm just like, okay, look, I know that the cost of things just increases over time. That's how the world works, and blaming one thing or another is short-sighted and stupid. But how do you justify increasing the price and then playing commercials and then saying, hey, if you give us more money, we'll take out the commercials? I'm a guy who will pay for ad-free, as you're going to hear in a few minutes. I'm a guy who will definitely pay for ad-free versions of things. But I don't watch enough stuff on Prime to justify the extra cost. But it's just weird that like you increase the price and the service gets worse. I don't know. It just, maybe it's not unusual anymore. It's not unusual to increase your prices and make the thing worse. There you go. That's early listeners of the show may remember when I did music news. And I did music news for maybe a month or two. So like 7 or 8 times. And I think 7 of the 8 stories I mentioned Tom Jones. So, so there's that for you. Yeah, I just feel like also with the increase in price with Prime, you should get Amazon Music included, right? Like something else should be included in there and they shouldn't take things away. But yeah, it is what it is. I do like ESPN Plus. It's good, but I think it needs 2 things to reach that next tier of great streaming service. Number 1, the ability to watch the network live because you're paying them money. And you would think with a lot of people cutting cable entirely and not really having access to ESPN proper, that the company would use that and be like, hey, you pay us some money, we'll let you watch the network. And like they're transitioning to a more digital space anyway and have been for a few years. So I'm just confused as to why that doesn't work out. Maybe that likely has to do with the cable companies and rights fees and licensings and all that. licensings. Yeah. That's likely where that comes in. But I think if they added the ability to watch ESPN live on ESPN Plus, that would be great. And also, if we could listen to ad-free versions of their podcasts, because like, why would I? Because there are services, Stitcher shut down, but there are services where you can pay them and listen to ad-free versions of podcasts on their network, which is great. Because look, I know you have to sell stuff. You got to do the ads. I get it, but they're just annoying to listen to when you interrupt. When they're jarring, there are jarring interruptions of the episode, of the conversation, and it's the same like 4 ads, a 4 or 5 minute break, and it's just like 3 times on the show. It's just not I say. So yeah, if they added that, I think ESPN Plus would be moved up to a top tier for me. But for me, the best one's YouTube Premium. And look, if you use YouTube with any regularity, you got to do Premium. You got no ads, and the ads on YouTube I don't know what they are now, but before I paid for YouTube Premium, they were awful. It was every 4 seconds, you had an unskippable 30-second ad, and then 3 more, but you had to wait to skip them. And when you have a toddler who just wants to watch his music videos or the cartoon or whatever it is, it's like, I'm like, you know what? It is absolutely worth my money to get rid of these ads, because the kid watches YouTube a lot. We always have it on, so it is so worth it. And YouTube Music is great. I much prefer that to Spotify. It's been really good for me. You can download certain things to, again, listen and watch on the go. And I can have my phone screen off and let something play. So if I'm trying to get to sleep and I want to put on some noise, some white noise or some lo-fi beats or whatever, and I just want to turn the screen off and lie down or whatever, I can have that, not to worry about it stopping or not to worry about a loud-ass commercial interrupting. And so that's great. So if you use YouTube often enough, Premium is so worth it. And love it. Absolutely love it. So for me, the best one, it's YouTube Premium, because of how often we use it and what you get for the subscription. It's great. And you get games. You get to play games as well. So very good. Very happy with that purchase. All right. Keith says Paramount for me, because that's where, so I'm sorry. I know I talked a lot. Which streaming service is the best for you? Best is most worth the money. So Keith says Paramount for me, because that's where Star Trek is. At least until they send the movies to Max, then Netflix. I think they're on Hulu now, but I'm sure they'll come back to the self-professed home of Star Trek soon. Oh, and Prodigy. That was a good show too. Wait, no, that's on Netflix now. ... Screw it. Streaming services all suck. Buy physical media wherever and whenever you can. I will echo that. If you love a movie or a show and you enjoy watching it over and over again, you should buy it on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever is available to you, whatever they have available, and you can use that. I would, if you enjoy a show enough that you're like, oh, it's my comfort show, I watch it all the time, I would buy it and have a physical player to actually watch it, because it happens all the time where the streaming service will say, hey, this show is going away at the end of the month, and there's nothing we could do about it. So unless you're like me and you pay for a bunch of these services, you're going to lose a lot of shows. So, so I will echo that sentiment for sure. Buy physical media whenever and wherever you can. Absolutely. Our friend Matt Sledge says the ones that offer the steepest yearly discounts during the Christmas season. That's it. I pay $2 a month for Peacock. Whee! I love it. That's a great answer. Thank you, Sledge. By the way, if you don't know, Matt Sledge trained me to do this radio show, The Melting Pat, as a radio show on Party 93.4. So if you don't like the show, it's 100% Matt's fault. So go tell him that. And Matt, make the trip to Philadelphia for the live show. Thanks. Or not. Anyway. All right. This is from Felt Lips. Oh, this is the band on the old tweet space. I should check them out. Felt Lips is the name of the band. Do you like scary movies? If so, Shudder is great. There you go. Not the first person I have heard talk about how great Shudder is as a service. So there we go. Crashard says, we tend to watch quite a bit of Discovery Plus and Crunchyroll. We also have Disney Plus. I think Crunchyroll's anime, right? Yeah, so there you go. Not a bad choice in the bunch there. Kirsten says Disney Plus has Disney films, obviously, Pixar stuff, Star Wars, but also all the Marvel franchise films / shows, and now airs Doctor Who. Oh, there you go. I don't really like Doctor Who, but if that's a draw for you, fantastic. That's a pretty damn good wide-ranging... let me try that again. That's a pretty damn good wide-ranging selection of options for the whole family. Subscription is $14 a month or $8 if you can tolerate ads. I cannot. I will pay for the highest tier of any service because I don't want to watch commercials. Like I said, I've done this on the show before. If I'm paying for your service, I don't want to watch commercials. I shouldn't have to. If I'm paying your thing, I shouldn't have to watch ads. That's the point of me paying you, so you don't need the revenue from the ads. All right, there you go. Thank you, Kirsten. The Alt Nation says the Alt Nation is a podcast and a blog showcasing new independent music. They reached out on Threads, so thank you, my friend. Out of all the streaming services, I think Apple TV Plus is the best. I also think it's the most underrated of all the streamers. I have heard some good things, or a lot of good shows are on Apple TV Plus. I do not have that one, but I know a lot of people who do, and people do enjoy that and enjoy the content. Enjoy the shows and movies on there. So thank you for that. MAG says, for what I like to watch, I'd have to say Hulu. There you go. Hulu's got a lot of sitcoms, a lot of fun stuff on there. And now I think they just merged with Disney. So you get the Disney stuff on Hulu or the Hulu stuff on Disney Plus. I don't remember. Maybe it's going to come up. Drave says Peacock is pretty solid. Sucked at first, but has come a very long way. That's true. Hulu can be hit or miss for me, though they've been excellent for hockey. I pay the lowest tier on all services. Some are better than others with ads. Netflix tends to show one 30-second ad at the beginning of a show. Drave, you're killing me. On occasion, they'll throw another ad in the middle, 30 seconds. Hulu is for ads. Tons of them, constantly. Feels like a WWE show with all the ad breaks. Max is very good, great content, large library, and it gets regular updates. I don't watch a ton of shows and movies, but I tend to find myself on those two apps mainly. So for Drave, that would be Hulu and Peacock and Max. So there you go. Thank you, Drave. Thanks for the novel. I think I did okay. All right, Lockjaw says Disney Plus, because I have been brainwashed by the Disney industrial complex to eat up whatever the latest weekly Marvel Star Wars show they're putting out. There you go. Let me try again. Brainwashed to eat up whatever latest weekly Marvel / Star Wars show they're putting out. There you go. Also, it has Simpsons, Futurama, Bob's Burgers, Always Sunny, ... all of which I can just throw on at any time. And it's got various shows I have not watched, but probably should, like What We Do in the Shadows, Reservation Dogs, The Bear, Only Murders in the Building, Shogun, etc. ... Also has some classics that, granted, I probably don't have time to watch again. Buffy, Angel, Firefly, 24, Lost, Boy Meets World, ... etc. ... There you go. Yeah, Disney, now that Disney Plus has merged with Hulu, I did look this up earlier, you can get a lot of the Hulu stuff on the Disney Plus app. And so I have both. So it doesn't really matter, but there's a lot on there and a lot to enjoy. So yeah, people complain all the time about like, oh, I got to pay for this one and that one. And I'm like, well, first of all, no, you don't. And second of all, if you want to watch all these things, yes, then you do have to kind of go to these services. So it is what it is. That's where we are. All right. Seth says Crunchyroll. Nice. Another Crunchyroll shout out. I like that. I still like Netflix too, because they have some banger shows that I could watch a million times, like Dark. It's weird though. I don't want to say Netflix is my favorite, even though I watch it the most. I don't know. Well, we're not looking for favorite, but I appreciate the gushing, as it were, nonetheless. Oh, it sounds gross. Best value for me, to me, is probably Peacock or Paramount Plus. Peacock is either still free or at most $5 a month because I have Xfinity, and I get Paramount Plus for free through Walmart Plus, and my wife works there, so that's free for her. Look at you. Look at you. I love it. Fantastic. I would love to watch more Paramount Plus stuff, but it has not worked on my TV in a year. And so I haven't paid for it. Like, they keep giving me a free month because I call them and say, hey, it still doesn't work on my TV. And so they're like, okay, we'll give you a free month and we'll, check back in 30 days or whatever. And we'll see where we are. And nothing has changed. So, so I cannot watch it on my TV. even though we did at first, and then all of a sudden some update or something or other just knocked it out. I don't know what happened, but I do like Paramount Plus a lot. There's a lot of good stuff on there. If only I could watch it with my son. If only. Rez says Shudder in order. Shudder, Prime, Paramount. There you go. Like I said, another shout out for Shudder. Clockshot says, been hooked on the Crunchyroll lately. Good stuff. But I wish they can get their hands on everything else that's out there. High Dive gets first crack. Then eventually it makes its way onto Crunchyroll. I guess High Dive is another thing. I don't know. Netflix is all right, but I'm considering dropping it. Honestly, I think when Monday Night Raw hits, the prices will jack up even more. Yeah, Monday Night Raw will be exclusive to Netflix beginning in January. So be on the lookout for a price hike, I suppose. I get Peacock for free for being a Comcast subscriber, but I've never bothered using it. There's a lot of good stuff on Peacock, Clockshot. I would recommend if you like, I even the other day, well, you watch wrestling, so there's a lot of WWE stuff on there, so that's worth it. But also, there are a lot of good sitcoms, and even like if you like the kids stuff, then because I just opened that up for my son, and we watched a bunch of stuff on there, like Sonic the Hedgehog and the Garfield the Garfield cartoon is on there as well. So there's a lot of really good kid stuff on there if you're into that, and there's a lot of other stuff on there as well. So I think the app has gotten better from a user interface perspective. So I would recommend, if you get it for free, then I'd recommend some of the stuff when you have some time. So there you go. Let's see. Meg says, I honestly switch depending on what I want to watch, but usually my Hulu / Disney Plus package sees the most use. I currently have access to Paramount Plus for free until November, so I've been using that heavily to binge all the seasons of Drag Race. Yes! Now sashay away. Oh, Drag Race is fantastic. Oh, man, it's so good. Love it. Thank you, Meg. Our pal Jason Didner says, as a Star Wars geek, I get my money's worth from Disney, but I don't love that when I added Hulu, I started getting ads when I'm already paying for the service. Grrr! I'm with you, dude. I am 100% with you. I thank you, everyone, for your answers, by the way. That was a lot. That was a lot of reading. Some of you know better about making me read that much, so, poo on you for that. But thank you for your answers. Yeah, dude, I'm with you. I'm 100% in your corner on this, that if I'm paying for a service, I should not have to watch ads. I shouldn't have to watch ads if I'm already giving you money, because then what's the point? You're getting ad revenue. Why are you doing both? Why are you doing both? So that leads us to our to some fan mail that we had. Break. There we go. Hold on. I need a beverage. Good time. Good thing we took a break. So we actually got this last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. I meant to talk about it last week, and then we ran out of time, or I don't know. We said a lot. So someone asked me about how I feel about paying for ad-free versions of things. And I thought it's actually perfect. Put these two things together on the show, put them together on the show, and then we make them, I don't know, it's like one big segment of commercial, stop paying if you're seeing commercials, whatever. Anyway, how do I feel about paying for ad-free versions of streaming services or paying to remove ads on mobile games? And my answer, very simply, is I am 100% on board with both of those. And we can get into the idea of paying for a mobile game is silly, or you're not a gamer because you're playing a mobile game. I'm sorry, is it a video game? Are you playing it on a platform of some kind? Well, then you're a gamer. You're playing a game. You're having a good time. And look, the number of ads that we see across every platform, every device, every whatever that we have is insane. It's absurd. The number of advertisements that we're seeing all over the place. I just saw the other day that Instagram is testing a feature where they will put an unskippable ad to stop you from scrolling. And they'll have a little timer, however long it will be. And while you're scrolling Instagram or the stories or scrolling your feed, and it'll stop you and show an ad that you have to wait to skip. And my thought was, okay, then I'll just get out of Instagram and do something else. Because I already barely use Instagram at all for anything. Because I did an episode about this in 2020 when I was releasing one every day in November 2020. And I did an episode on Instagram and how awful it is as an app. And since then, guess what? It has not gotten better. And now they're testing an unskippable ad feature where I'm not going to wait for the ad to end. I'm just going to close the app and play another thing, play a game, or go do something. Like, I'm not going to stick around and wait. I'm sorry for all of your Instagram posts, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to stick around for some unskippable ad when I barely use the app as it is. So, yeah, the number of ads that we see is insane. And I would say I know, like, oh, you're just giving in, man. Like, well, yeah, in a way, but if you use something every day, like we use YouTube every single day. And so it made sense for me to go, hey, you know what? I'm tired of these commercials. I'm tired of like the thing stopping every 45 seconds or so for a commercial that we have to wait to skip. And then the kid freaks out, or I'm just like, oh, another ad. And so I'm like, okay, here, let's go ad free. And so if you use it every day, if you watch YouTube, or if you watch Netflix, or if you watch whatever, or if you play a mobile game every day and you just go on there and go boop, boop, power slap or whatever, baseball 9, whatever you do. And you go, okay, boop, boop. Every day you play a game and you're just like, you know what? I do this every day. Maybe you check in several times a day to do whatever it is that you do on your mobile game. Then I would say, like, if they have a version where you're like, hey, you can get rid of forced ads, they call them, where like you'll be playing and you'll take a certain action in the game. And whether you clicked on anything or not, it'll be like, oh, time for an ad. Like a commercial on a TV show, right? It'll come up and go, oh, here you go, time for an ad. And there are games where you can pay $3 or $4 or whatever to permanently remove that. And so you still watch ads for certain things like, oh, watch this 30-second ad and get this bonus for your character, or get these gems, which you can build up and use as you earn more. You can buy things in the game. Like that, you still have to watch those ads. But those like forced ads that randomly pop up while you're playing the game, if there's an option for you to pay $3 or $4, don't pay like $10. That's dumb. I guess maybe I shouldn't even say that. But $10 for me seems like a lot for a mobile game. For like just to remove ads, that seems like too much. Like $3-4, great. Here you go. Have it. Let me play the game and not be interrupted every 48 seconds by a commercial that I can't skip, or I have to wait to skip or something. Or maybe the app crashes while I'm watching the ad and then I go back in and I still have to watch the ad, right? And so let's get rid of that. And like, I'm happy to pay $3-4 one time for the option to remove forced advertisements, because we see enough of them on everything that we use and do every day. And so it's worth it for me. And I would say if you use something every day, a game or whatever, then it is worth it for you to pay $3-4 to say, you know what, get rid of these ads. And then I can at least play the game and have it function while I'm trying to do a thing. So yeah, I am 100% on board. If you use it often enough and you have the resources, then you should pay for the ad-free version of that thing. And I just think the people who are like, oh, you paid for a mobile game, like, well, yeah, I do it if you do it every day, then yes, you should pay to remove ads and have the best experience that you can have. Right? Is that crazy? I know people look down on mobile games a lot because they're mobile games for whatever reason. A lot of mobile games, I will say, are not great, but there are the ones that you do like and you play all the time. And if you have the option and if you have the means, and let me not even say that. Because if I say if you have the means, it seems like I'm making fun of you if you're quote unquote too poor for like $4. But if it's practical for you to spend the money, that's what I'll do. If it is practical for you to spend $4 or $5, $3, $4, $5 on a mobile game that you play every single day to just remove ads from randomly popping up during the game, then yes, you should absolutely do that. I am 100% in favor of that. If you have money, if it's a monthly thing, and if you have the money for that, then yeah, go ahead, do that too, right? I don't know, man. I can't really add another monthly thing. I feel like that's like I have enough of those. And so it's not that, like when people ask about, oh, you don't pay for something for the show. And I'm like, well, no, because I don't make money from the show. And so it's not practical. So it's not that I don't have, it might have been either a script or something where, to do transcriptions of the show. And I ended up finding a different service that I haven't used, but I paid one time for a lifetime license. Listen Monster is what it's called. But somebody was like, oh, you should pay monthly for whatever it is. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. And they're like, what are you, too poor? I'm like, well, no, it's not practical, right? So if you have the means and if it makes sense for you, like if you're not going to, like, don't take away from something else that you use to pay for a mobile game, probably, unless that's what you want to do. But in terms of how I feel about paying for ad-free versions, absolutely. I am 100% on board. Again, I hate the idea that the ad-free version or that, that you can pay for a version of a service and still watch commercials. That really bothers me because what am I paying you for? But if you have the means, if you use something like if it's a mobile game, if you play it every day, several times a day maybe, then yes. And then pay for the ad-free, like, hey, remove all ads, $5 or whatever. Pay that, get on with your day, and enjoy the thing as it was meant to be enjoyed. That's what I will say to you. So to answer your question, yes, I feel great about paying for things to be ad-free. Like, should we have to do that with all the ads we see and everything else in our lives? Probably not, but you got to make money, and I understand that part of it. So yeah, I am on board. If you are saying like, hey, should I pay for this ad-free thing? Yeah, you should, because you want to be able to enjoy what you're doing and not have to sit through another ad every 48 seconds or whatever. So yeah, I'm on board. If you use it every day, then it's definitely worth it for the ad-free version of that thing, the service, the game, the whatever. So if it's practical for you to buy the ad-free version of the thing, then you should buy the ad-free version of the thing. All right? Sound good? Great. Did I answer your question? How do I feel about it? I feel like we shouldn't have to watch so many commercials with all the services we all pay for. But because we do, it is what it is. I support if you're on the fence about getting an ad-free version of a thing, then I'm going to push you over to the side that says, go ad-free, spend the money if you got it. And if it's practical for you at the time to spend the money, I will shove you over the fence and say, pay for the ad-free version, damn it, and enjoy the thing as it was meant to be enjoyed. All right? I think we got it, right? Are we good? We're just about good. We got some sports questions. So I will say this because I forget to do this sometimes. But if you do not like sports, this is your time to go. Thank you for being here. We'll be brief, I think, with the sports stuff. We'll try anyway. But we got a sports question about Caitlin Clark and about baseball stats if launch angle is hurting baseball. So we will talk about that. We'll take a break. We'll talk about that. I might not play a sound, but I wanted to do that clap for you who do not like sports. You can skip ahead or turn it off. Skip ahead to the end. I don't know. Turn it off, actually. And I'll talk to you soon. All right? But for the rest of us, let's talk some sports. All right. Sorry. Before we get to the sports things, my phone reset during the break. And I guess it did an update and I don't know, I missed the message and it didn't want to wait anymore. So my phone reset and we got a couple of notifications that came in that I, for some reason, didn't see. I guess my phone decided not to show me them until I pressed another button. So these are from the patrons. Thank you, gentlemen, or whatever your pronouns are. Thanks, people. Kenny says, we usually are using the Hulu Disney ESPN bundle. So there you go. A lot of stuff to watch there. 3 different services all under one little package, like a cable subscription almost. But I did see that there are a couple other ones like Max and Netflix and one other one are now it's a package bundle deal or whatever. So yeah, we're getting there. I wrote on the website several months ago. We're not back to cable yet, but I think we're getting there. Anyway, Kenny, if you listen, what is the name of the sport that you have been watching? Oh, he mentioned it on a stream. He streams with Kentucky Beaver Slap, usually for Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, and they've been watching a sport on ESPN Plus. Oh, damn it. All right, Kenny, when you listen to the show, if you listen to the show, let me know what the sport is. Type it out for me because I forget what it is. So thank you for your money. Thank you for your answer. And our friend Brian Amato says Netflix is definitely the most bang for your buck. So there you go. Thank you both for that. Yeah, Netflix, they got a lot. I mean, there's a lot of, sure, you can say that, they lost out on a show to this place and, they cancel shows after this long, but you can download stuff to watch on the go. You can play games. Like I said earlier, you can play games. And if you like their original stuff, if you like the stuff they're cranking out, then that's your one. That's the one to go to. It is a bummer, though, that they completely did away with DVDs. Not that I was renting DVDs anymore, but with the advent of every show being canceled, and then not just canceled, not every show, but not just canceled, erased. With the advent of that happening, you kind of would want a physical release to actually watch the show that you enjoyed. Like I said, those comfort shows. So if you have one of those, buy it physically and watch it, because you never know when it's just going to be gone. And if only Netflix, do you think they'd ever bring that back? Do you think Netflix would ever bring back DVD sales and Blu-ray? I know they've pushed back against directors who wanted Blu-rays of their Netflix original things they made, because they want it to be all streaming and they want to be, drive subscriptions and all that. But the idea that they can just yank that away at any time I'm with the directors. We should have physical stuff so people can enjoy the works that were created. I get why Netflix wouldn't do that. I understand their stance on it, but as a consumer, as a viewer, the physical media, I like it. I like having it. I like having access to it offline and, whenever I want, not whenever you want to have it on there. And it's just, yeah. Anyway, to answer the question, Brian says Netflix, most bang for your buck. Kenny says they're on the Hulu, Disney, ESPN bundle. Kenny, let me know what that sport is, and because I forget what it's called, and I don't want to mispronounce it and say something dirty in Pride Month. Or maybe I should. No, I'm not going to do that. But thank you. Sorry, I almost missed you. But I blame my phone. You could probably blame me somehow, and that's fine. But you pay me, so I think I win. There you go. There you go. Speaking of sports, all right, now if you don't like sports, you can go. Thanks for coming. I'll talk to you next week. Tell your friends about the live show. Okay, so we got some questions about sports. I figured we'll use these at the end and be able to wrap the show after this. So this one, we don't know where they're from, do we? Do we get names on these, Jerome? No? All right, Jimmy from Mayfair wants to know, Pat, I know that you watched WNBA stuff with your son. I'm curious if you still watch and if you saw the Caitlin Clark foul that everyone's talking about. Well, that's a good memory, first of all. And I watch when I can. He's really into the stuff he's into, and so it's tough to watch other things. But I watch what I can. Sorry, I'm just thinking of, you didn't ask for this, but what happens is he will find something he likes on YouTube, by the thumbnail, I talked about this, and go, yes, that one. And so we'll put on that one. And then when he's done watching it, he'll go, TV off, and he'll start swiping because he knows that we have to move the menu over. And so he'll go, TV off. He'll be swiping and saying, TV off. And he gets he's very passionate about what he wants to watch. And so it's tough to watch things that I want to watch on TV, but I watch things on my phone. And, he's there. We're chatting, we're doing things. And then, we crawl around together. So I'm not ignoring him while we're all watching TVs. But so anyway, long way to go. But I do not watch as much WNBA as I did when he was an infant. But I watch what I can. And yes, I did see the foul on Caitlin Clark from whoever it was. I don't know anybody's name except for Caitlin Clark, apparently, and Angel Reese, and no one else. I don't know, man. The product is good. I have enjoyed what I've watched of the WNBA. However, I will say the foul was dirty, and it just okay, I'm not going to sit here and say that everybody's too soft and we have to, coddle things and, the NFL is a no fun league and all that. I'm not going to sit here and say that because that's not my belief. But if you're going to be a dirty player, if you're going to play the villain, let's not say she's a dirty player. We're not going to say that, what's her name? Shenedy Carter, right? Carter? I should have looked it up, but I didn't. Anyway, I'm not going to say she's a dirty player. I have not seen enough of her on the court to make that call. However, if you're going to play the villain and be the goon and be the bad guy, whatever, then you got to own it all the way. So she scored a basket, and then Caitlin Clark was waiting for the inbound pass. So the play had technically not resumed. And so before Caitlin Clark could get the pass, this Carter went and hip checked her from behind, and play stops, and everybody, the opposing bench is cheering, and everyone's like, dude, what the hell? And so it's a dirty foul. Look, I played basketball a long time, and there's playing rough, and there's being dirty. That was dirty. If it was, you're going hard in the paint, or you're actively playing defense against someone who knows you're there and can see you coming, and you kind of bang into each other. That's different. That's playing rough. That's playing physical basketball. And I have no problem with that. But this was dirty. It was a dirty foul. And there's no way around that for me. There's a dirty foul. It was kind of in between the play. She wasn't going for the ball. She clearly just hip checked Caitlin Clark for whatever reason. And then after the game, she said, I ain't answering no Caitlin Clark questions. And I'm like, okay, strike two. Strike one, dirty foul. Strike two, you kind of cowered away from the moment. And again, if you want to be the villain, you want to be the goon, you can do that, but you got to own it. But also on another level, I get the vibe like I'm just here so I don't get fined. I get it. But then this is why it's strike two and not just I get it. I'm just here not get fined. The third thing was she went on social media after the game, like after everybody left and after that, like she didn't answer any questions during the media availability, then went on her phone and was chirping about it. And that's why that's strike two. That's why I'm not answering any questions is dumb for me, because then you went on your phone and chirped about it. So which is it? Are you going to be the villain, or are you going to be a dirty player, run away, not answer for it, and then chirp about it and go, oh, I didn't do anything wrong or whatever? And it's just like, come on. Like, if you're going to do it, if you're going to be the goon, be the villain. And then the coach a couple days later was like, we've had a conversation. She knew it was wrong, but she probably won't do it again. Bah. I'm like, okay, where were you right after the game? Where were you in the moment to say, hey, like at that point so this is something I learned playing basketball. I coached a little bit, but not in any meaningful level. When somebody commits a foul, somebody's called for a foul, what you generally do is take them out of the game. Because for two reasons. Number one, they're probably going to be a little frustrated that they got whistled for a foul. And number two, the referee is going to look at you now because you've committed a foul, and they know you're going to be frustrated because you got whistled for it. And they know they're going to wait for you to slip up again and get called for another foul and possibly foul out of the game. And so what you do is you take the player out, let him sit on the bench for a few minutes and go, okay, settle yourself, let the referee's attention go elsewhere, and then try not to do anything stupid when you go back out there. Now, I don't know if that's what happened. I didn't get to see the whole game because, again, it's hard to watch stuff. But, like, where was the coach to step in and say, okay, here's how we handle this? And then the coach should step up in the media availability and say, nope, we're not talking about that. We're going to handle that as a team, and we're on to the next game. That's what should have happened. Instead, the player comes out and says, I'm not answering any of those questions, and then you go on your phone and you chirp about it afterward. And like now you're trying to act like the bad guy, the villain, this tough persona, when you had a chance to own that moment and be that character that you apparently want to be that kind of player that you want to be. You had an opportunity to seize that and really embrace that, and you didn't. You shied away from it, and then you're chirping on your phone, and then 2 days later your coach says, oh, she probably won't do it again, which means she's going to do it again. It's just so... The fact that you everybody saw what you did. You didn't own it. Your team lost the game as a direct result of that, by the way. They lost by 1 point. Caitlin Clark got 2 free throws, made them both. So as a direct result, essentially, of that play, her team lost the game. And Caitlin Clark, by the way, is getting beat up. And I don't know if that's a standard, thing for rookies in the WNBA. I don't follow that closely, honestly, but she is getting beat up. I saw Michael Rappaport the other day talking about it, and he's like, they need a goon. Like, they need somebody who's going to step in and say, hey, that's our player, back off. And they don't really have that as far as what I have seen so far. But, I did see the foul, dirty play, and they didn't own it. So it was just weak. Like, you didn't own it, and then you went on your phone and chirped, and that was just weak. So, yeah, I don't like that. I have enjoyed, like I said, I've enjoyed most of the WNBA that I've watched over the last few years. It's just a matter of being able to sit down and watch a game, which is those moments are rare these days. So I try, because I do like the sport of basketball, and I barely watch the MNBA. That's the men's NBA, which I think we should start doing. Instead of just saying the NBA, we're going to say the MNBA. I think that's fun. But yeah, dirty foul, and then she just cowered away during the media and then chirped about it later. That just didn't sit with me. That's weak. And, yeah, it's what happens. I mean, hey, listen, whatever you want to say about Caitlin Clark, you cannot deny that she is, at the very least, getting people to watch and discuss the WNBA. Because how often have I talked about the WNBA on this show? Hardly ever, right? But now we have this, and I really enjoy watching Caitlin Clark play. And now here we are. I'm spending, 10 minutes on it. So there we go. I didn't mean to go that far into it, but yes, I did see the play. Yes, it was dirty, and I didn't appreciate that. I just thought it looked weak. It looked weak when you cowered away and then chirped about it on your phone later. So there you go. All right, thank you, Jimmy. And the other one is Pat. I know you're you're a big baseball guy. Thank you. Yes, I am. How do you feel about launch angle and other fancy stats? Do you think they are ruining the game? No, ruining is not the right word. I like things like exit velocity and spin rate and, barrel rate. That's kind of a newer one where they see how often a hitter hits the ball on the sweet part of the fat part of the bat, as they say. So I like all that stuff. And, war doesn't make sense to me either in baseball or in, geopolitical contexts. But it's just weird to me. But anyway, yeah, I don't think launch angle is ruining baseball as a whole, but I do think I will ride with you because I think this is where you're going. I will ride with you and say that there are a lot of hitters who are too focused on launch angle. Instead of getting behind the ball and driving it, they are getting under the ball to try to put it in the air, and they're not getting the desired result. So they're striking out, they're popping up, they are not driving the ball, not getting on base, not helping the team, and that's why the league's hitting like 220 as a whole. So I don't think it's ruining baseball, but I do think that too many guys are focused on it and they're trying to uppercut everything or put everything in the air when sometimes the situation will call for hanging back, getting behind the baseball, and driving it instead. Because, hey, you hit a single, you got a guy on third, you drove in a run. If that same at bat, you're trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark, you pop it up to third base, you're out, nobody scored, unproductive. Saying it's ruining baseball is going too far. But I will say I do think there are a lot of guys who focus too much on it and have altered their swings in an attempt to increase their launch angle to try to drive the ball out of the ballpark, and it's not working out. Not working out as well as I think they would want. So maybe I'm just an old school kind of stick in the mud, but I prefer guys who get on base and don't hit 210 or something. So there you go. Kyle Schwarber excluded because that guy's fun. So there you go. There's I hope I answered your questions, Jimmy from Mayfair. Yes, I saw the Caitlin Clark foul. It was dirty, and I didn't like that the player didn't own it afterwards and then chirped on their phone, and it just seemed weak to me. And no, I don't think launch angle is ruining baseball, but I do think there is too much of a focus on that aspect of hitting, and I think we got to learn to start driving the ball again. So there you go. Thank you for your questions. I hope I answered them in a satisfactory way. That is our show. Thank you for being here. My thanks to Cokeworks for the tune. Go check them out. Cokeworks Band on Instagram, and all the stuff will be in the show notes. Come to the live show. Sign up for the live show. Sign up. Yeah, register for the live show in September. Come hang out with us. It's going to be great. Thank you to Jen for suggesting the question. And thank you to everyone for your answers. So there you go. Thank you for all the fan mail. I love when I get mail because I don't have to do as much work to think of things to say. You've already done that. So much appreciated over here at themeltingpat.com. For all of those things, there is a contact page. You can reach out to me in several ways and also get all the information about the live show over there. And that is that for today. Are we doing G-Love or have we been here too long? No, I think we've been here a while. But check out G-Love anyway. G-Love and Special Sauce at Philadelphonic.com. We'll play my thing for you at the end. And that will be that for today. All right? All right. Thank you very much. This has been an 8 Boylan production. So until next time, my friends, have fun. Be safe. Thank a veteran. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Tip your wait staff. Get vaccinated and boosted when you can. And of course, don't do anything I wouldn't do. That's it, right? Yes. Thank you. I love you all. You've been inside the Melting Pat on the Next Level Network. Go crap open a cold one.